Hi, this is Hi Bob Poor Bob, and we're about to play some Ultimate General Civil War. So as you can see, I did make a few changes off screen. What I went ahead and did is I went through and I ranked all my guys by how much experience they have with a no bar colonel. These units are new. I went ahead and made 4th Division, put all my points into one more point into Army Organization, so that I can have the full core for Shiloh. So I went through and made these up here, and then bought the 4th Division so I get a no bar colonel. Then moved all the junk units down here, using up all of my manpower. So then the next thing was to go ahead and find the guy that had the highest experience with the best firearms, being the most important thing. I think this is the Mississippi that got kind of stuck in the woods, firing almost the entire time at the enemy, and took a bunch of losses. This is the guy that took almost 500 losses. So we'll use this one because of how high his firearms. 45 is definitely the highest. 42 is the second highest, I believe. It does mean that he will have a melee that's a little bit higher than some of the other ones, but what we're really looking for is the high firearms. Ooh. These two are the same for firearms. That one actually has higher efficiency than this one. I might want to just go ahead and use this guy, since even higher efficiency is better. Yeah. Everything else is pretty much the same. Does look like this one has slightly higher of 45 firearms, just slightly, but it has lower melee, so that means that I won't waste as much breaking down this guy instead. And it's a few more men, so I have more men to play with if I want to make bigger brigades of artillery. So now I'm going to go ahead and move these guys out of the way, and 3rd Division is going to be where I build my artillery right now. I might not like leave it there or anything, but figured, it'd be a good spot to put it while I build it. Five efficiency, 50% ammo. I think he said that the ammo doesn't work. But I mean, stamina doesn't really do anything, and morale doesn't really do anything, so we'll just do that, and maybe he'll comment down below and tell me that it's broken or not. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We're wanting to put... So the other thing I did was I bought a bunch of high majors to put in charge of my artillery this time. I know my command line is smaller than my efficiency line. I don't think that matters. It's my own personal opinion. I think that until the efficiency turns red, you still get to keep your efficiency. So basically, it's about the size of the unit, not about the command line versus the efficiency line. So the command line goes, if you have too many men for how much efficiency you have, I mean, if you have too little command for how many men you have, then you get an efficiency. So like that's the largest possible efficiency is achieved according to the command level of the unit. So like you can't have more efficiency per unit than you have command. Like it's kind of, I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think that the way it's worded is wrong. I have no proof of this except for the fact that this turns red and this doesn't. So even though this guy's command is higher than the efficiency line. Wait. Okay. See if we can find one. Okay, there we go. That guy's command is higher than that efficiency line, but yet that efficiency line is still red. It's still, the officer's rank is too low for the size of the unit. Not for the amount of efficiency that it has, but it's too low rank for the size. So I think that the size of the unit is more important than anything else whenever it comes to the efficiency line. That is only my personal opinion. Like I said, I have no actual proof that that is the way it works, except for the fact that I don't see it working differently than that. But that's kind of just the way I feel about the way it states it and everything. I think that that's the way it's meant to be done. No proof whatsoever. Okay, so we just go through here, and now we have 4 guns. Now we get to decide, do we want 10-pounder Parrot, 6 to 10-pounder Parrot, or an 8 10-pounder Ordnance? Because we're not buying 12-pounder howitzers or 6-pounder fields. That's for sure. So we could just build a skirmisher unit of sharps. We could also build some melee cav. We have the weapons to build, you know, we could build a 300 for not too much cost, more than what's available. We can't build a smith, probably, yeah, there's none available. But we could build some sharps or cooking brothers. Rifle cav, if we wanted. Cooking brother, yeah, there's plenty to buy if we wanted. And I mean, we have a pretty good amount of money. This is a hard decision. What would this run me? Almost 12,000 to put together a 8-gun 10-pounder ordnance. I'm really not feeling it, to be honest. Could go ahead and... I mean, where's my cavalry going to be most useful, though? That's the biggest question. Like, what do I gain from this cavalry? I could use it versus their skirmishers in the opening phase, maybe? Like, move my skirmishers forward and then have the cavalry move up too and get into melee with them. But that whole front part is all forest. So I feel like that would just bog down really fast. I could actually make a sharps of my own to fight their guys, but one of the best things about using detached skirmishers is that they have the range of rifles. And these have 185 and 230. Like, these are a longer range than the Cooking Brother is, at least, but they're still relatively short range. Until you get down to something like the infield. And you can't put the infields on your skirmishers. If you could, I would use them so fast. Like, the infields are really good. Like, 300 range, fire rate of 60. Like, that's really good. Like, that is... I would definitely pick that up and use it on skirmishers if I could. 100%. But all my skirmisher weapons are short range except my Whitworths. And Whitworths are good, but the non-scoped version, that 100 range really makes a huge difference. It's weird how much difference it makes. It really is. It's crazy. So then I'm left with, what do I do for my last 2 brigades, at least? Like, I can kind of spread these out some. I'll probably end up like putting these into the main pool and just, or maybe just breaking down these guys and then merging them into them, or like 2 of them maybe, because I could probably, I was gonna say I could take these Lorenzes and split them into there, but I can't because there's just not enough Lorenzes here. There's not, oh, there's enough Springfields here, so like I could break down 1 and those, and then take out like, I don't know. I'll have to deal with that in a bit, in a second. Okay, so we are looking at exactly what we want to do for... This is a really hard decision. I thought about it, and I thought I kind of thought about what I wanted, but then it comes to actually doing it, I'm like, I don't know. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do a 300... cavalry are so much better in pairs. How much would it cost for 80 of these? It's not too bad. So we do have 2 spots open, that's good. So we'll go cavalry with Colt. 300 of them. Just go ahead and put that guy in charge. So 4K. I think that isn't a bad deal. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so then we want the stamina and speed because this accuracy is more for the other type of horse. So we'll do that, and then we will come over here and Remington 300. Okay. We'll do the same there. Okay, so we have about 200 experienced troops left. We could... Oh, we have a whole stack of Lorenzes from breaking down one of these units. Okay. So we'll do like that to use up the rest of those. Then if I break down... If I break down this one, then I can switch this one over to Lorenzes. Oops. Okay. So now what my goal is to merge all of these together after I have made whatever ones I want down here out of these. Okay. So let's go 1800. Okay. $1,800 and just keep doing them. Okay. And then we only have 600 left. So 600 left.
Sir, yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and make these guys 1900. Okay. That should be plenty for there. Now, we'll go ahead and put that guy down there. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 guys, and we'll want to split them out into, no, that's 8. 8 guys, and we'll want to split them out into 10. Oh, and we have leftover men there. So, we're definitely going to want 3 infield units. So we'll have to look at how many infields we have and split it by 3. And then we can go from there for the other units. So maybe we'll need the infields to be bigger or smaller depending on bigger or smaller than the average, because we definitely want to use all the infields. So I think that's like 1600. Just going with a 1600 and 1600 would be like 3200, I think. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Infield. 1700. Okay. So like 17 and 22. So we could do like a 50
Yes, sir.
and a 50 and then a 1622. That's what we'll end up doing. Because infields are definitely our best weapon, and we want to make sure and get as many of those onto the field as we can, I think. Okay, so now we've got our 3 infield units, and then we can decide from there what we want for the others. And these, of course, are smaller units, so we could use like 2 stars. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Can we get away with that? Yeah. Okay. So we can use, we might even be able to use high 1 star. Yeah, we can. So if we can use that guy, we could go ahead and take, okay, so what are we looking at? Majors would be better on these units because they're more likely to get hurt. They're probably not going to, and they're also going to gain more experience probably being in these units than being in the others. So I think that it might be better to go ahead and put some majors here. Let's see. Is that our highest major? Just make sure that they don't drop efficiency. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we have 11,000 men left. So what is it, like 11,056 divided by 7 units we need now? That would be 1579 would be how many men we could put into each one. So that's a little bit of a weird number. I'm not really enthused about that number, to be honest. I was really hoping for some 1600s here. So what I might do is if I made 1500s for everybody and then came back and deleted all of these guys, made them 1600s, it would keep my experience on all of these units equal, but these guys got a little bit better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to 1500 them, and this will be my, or I could, let's actually 1600 for the Lorenzes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then we will 1500, no, 1400 the Mississippi's is what we'll do. So we get a little bit of a step ladder approach to this. Okay. And we just keep going with the Lorenzes here. I think this will turn out pretty good for number of weapons too. It's not going to be exact, but it never will be for this kind of thing. Gives us a few leftovers for after the battle to buff everybody up where we need them. 600 of them. So we could go to 1700 maybe. These guys would be more on par. Instead of being bigger units, they would be about the same size as my main units. Or even just 1650. I don't know, let's make these Mississippi's 1400s and see how many men we have left over. Okay. So we're almost there. And it does look like we're going to have 400 men left over. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do 1700 on our Lorenzes here. We've got the men. And we've got the guns. So don't see why not. I mean, I could almost get rid of one more of the Mississippi's. I mean, get rid of one more of the Springfields and buy Mississippi's for one more unit. That might not be a bad idea. I mean, I have money. And the more actual rifles we have, I think the better we'll do. I don't know if there's a whole lot of downside there. So we'll go ahead and delete one of these first. And then we will add 100 men. Or 200 men. 1600.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we don't have the guns of the Mississippi's to make another unit unless we buy them. But, like, we could buy between that and that's almost enough to outfit 2 more units, right? At 1500 or 1600? That's almost enough to outfit 2 more units at 1600. That could be really good. Like 4 units of Mississippi's, 4 units of Lorenz's, and 3 of Enfield's. And only, at that point, it would only be like 2 units of Springfields. At this point in the campaign, that sounds really tempting. And at the same time, sounds like I'm going to spend all my money for not a whole lot of gain. And also at this point, it's hard to, I'd have to like really change things up to, yeah, I don't have the slots. I'd have to buy this slot here to be able to even make everything work. Which is fine, like, but it does put me, you know, spending money on things I don't need right now for the actual battle. I don't need it for the battle, I just need it to be able to shuffle things around, which, you know, is a little annoying. So we need to get rid of the rest of my... Of course,
Yes,
I
sir.
don't have to buy it. I could just use one of my ones, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose. So then what you do is you take all of these guys again, split them out, and then divide that by 4 instead, so that's 1,200. So we do 1,200 Mississippis instead of 1,600, and you split that out into 4 units this time instead. Maybe I should be buying the oh, I bought the parrots. Like, I have another unit to build that isn't here yet. Oh, man. I completely forgot about that. You guys are gonna yell at me. I'm gonna yell at myself. Okay. Well, that means now that everything has changed a little bit. Because now I don't need the same things that I did. I need one less unit in somewhere. Let's put him up there, just so that we don't get him confused with being part of the Springfields. So now if I got rid of another, like if I got rid of this Springfield unit, I would need to fill up. Well, I could put 100 in both of those. So I've already broken down one of these Springfield, the smaller Springfield unit. So I could go ahead and start making these 1,700, I think, is what I'm going to do. 500 men in each for now. We're going to do that, see how that works out. Of course, we run out of men. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. So then 1,700 again, and 1,700. Okay. That still leaves us with 1,200 men. So another 50 on all of these. We're gonna have like no leftover Lorenzes now. That's okay. So we still got 1,000 men left. Put 100 here. And I guess our 10-pound repair is going to be our worst battery. That's fine, it's not a big deal. They obviously barely make 1 star. Okay, so now we are looking at 700 men that we got to put in the army still. So 400 If I put 100 in each,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
And we still have 200 left. Oh, oops, I didn't actually go. Okay, so we have 100 left. So that's like 30 each. There's 20. Oh no, because it's not that many, because,
Yes, sir.
let's see. How close are we? 70. Okay, so we got 26 men left. What would that be divided by 4? Like, 20 divided by 4 is 5. So either 6 or 7. And there we go. Used up all the men and all that. So this is kind of amazing. Like, we almost got to no rifles by nothing but rifles by Shiloh. And if I wasn't using this big of units, I could easily, like, I could leave out these 4,000 men and easily be all rifles now. Easy. Without any problems. Of course, we still have smoothbore cannons, but at this point, we can't even buy enough rifled cannon, hardly. Tredegar ordnance. I mean, that's only 4 and 7 of them. And however many were before Bull Run. I didn't buy all of them before Bull Run. I didn't buy anything but the howitzers before Bull Run, because I don't think that it's really all that worth it. And of course, we're going with 2 units of cavalry, and I did not use cavalry before here, so I don't know what they're gonna do. I could have gone smaller on the 6-pounder fields. I made 3 units instead of 2 bigger units. Probably. I just don't think that it really matters. And I got 5,000 left over. So we could... I don't think there's anything I want to buy though. I could start buying those, but I could buy these after, so... They'll have like 200 after, so... I'll be able to buy them if I want them. I really like these a lot for my rifle cav whenever I start doing that. I mean, yeah. I don't think any of this is worth it right now. I think that the most important thing is to use up all of your manpower and then do good with it. That's pretty much the name of my game. Well, you guys have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Sorry about the false ending there. I just wanted to take the time to show you what I had in my previous playthrough. So I had bought the MJ and Gs, so I had to, you know, buy some extra guns just to be able to form units of these, because 2,000 isn't enough to make 2 units really. So I did that, and then I had 2 infields, Lorenz's. So instead of 2 infields at 1,400, I now have 3 infields at 1,650 almost. Way better. Instead of having 2 Lorenz's at 1,890, I've got 4 Lorenzes at 1870. And my Mississippis, instead of having 4 Mississippis at 1400, I have 4 Mississippis at 1700, 1800, somewhere in there. And instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Springfields, I only have 2 at max size of 2000. I was actually not able to buy all the 24-pound howitzers. I was only able to buy 6 of the 8 because I ran out of money. Even though I sold most of the 6-pounders that I had, because I got 26-pounders in this new playthrough. I haven't sold any of my 6-pounders in this playthrough. In the playthrough that I'm currently doing, not this one in front of me here, I ended up having to build a skirmisher unit out of sharps just to fill out my guys with just sharps that I just had, and I did a Whitworth skirmisher unit. So that fills out my 20 units. And let's see, I barely have any majors left over, and it just looks like a haphazard mess compared to my new run, in my opinion. Like, I know the 2 cavalry units are a little bit weird. I guess those 2 cavalry units are instead of the 2 skirmisher units, and I think I replaced basically 3 new 3 infantry units with 3 more artillery units, and that made it where I bumped the size of all my infantry units up quite a bit, but yet I have less muskets than I did here, which is going to be a huge benefit, I think. All my units will be able to actually fight on the front lines in an appropriate manner, and I'll only have 2 units that I really have to baby or can't trust as much because they've got those Springfields. Mississippi's hold up pretty well versus Lorenz's. Like, those are pretty similar. Like, yes, Lorenz's are better, but Mississippi's aren't terrible compared to them. Whereas, the infields take a huge step up because of that reload rate. That reload rate of the infields, man, that really makes a huge difference for breaking enemy units. You get those volleys off faster, you really start, cracking their morale just a little bit, that little bit quicker. Like, you get off your next volley before they get off their next volley, so you're likely to keep them from firing their next volley because you'll either morale shock them or break them just that little bit before they get a chance to. So even if you don't get off your first volley as fast as they do, because sometimes whenever you're moving up on the attack, they get to fire their first volley and then you get to fire your first volley. With the infields, you'll then reload and fire your second volley before they get to fire theirs, which is a huge benefit in the game. Well, I have already spent like another 5 minutes of your time here, and that camp video is already 30 minutes long. So I will let you guys go. Have a great one. Bye.